Hey guys, DragonGamer01 here, and today I am bringing you another Wi-Fi battle. I haven't really done these that much lately, but it's good to actually, start doing these again. It's really fun, and also, as you can see, I have something a little bit new here, where you could actually tell who's winning and what Pokemon are still alive, and plus, you can see who has what Pokemon on each team. I'm on the left, and InnerDarkAura, who is my opponent, and also he helped commentate on my last Wi-Fi battle video. His Pokemon are on the right. So, as we start off, it's a bit even for now, until his Reshiram, or whatever you want to call it, takes down my Keldeo, surprisingly. And, what's surprising is because he's a water and fighting type, and and then his Pokemon is fire and dragon type. Now, I send in Hannah, which is my Rapidash based off a really good friend of mine, and I have her use Bounce just because it's fire type against fire type. So, and plus I really don't have anything to go up against another dragon type or in a fire type. So I just used Bounce because I don't know how much that would have done, and I was hoping that would kill it, but he healed, so or at least I got him paralyzed. Then InnerDarkAura, he switches to his Zekrom named Zapper, and I wasn't really predicting that much. So I ended up going for a Fire Blast, and hopefully it would kill his Reshiram, but he switched, so oh well. So instead of keeping Hannah in there, I switched to Andrew, which is named off of InnerDarkAura's real name. But actually right away he dies due to a critical hit, which I don't think should have happened, because it's electric type on electric type. That shouldn't have done that much, but oh well. I switched into Kyurem, and I was going to go for a Blizzard, knowing that he has a Dragon type out, so it should do pretty well against him without waiting a second turn instead of doing his special move. And Zapper goes out right away like I wanted, which is good. So he switches to his Mewtwo buddy, and as you notice, all of his Pokemon are shiny. So I switch my Kyurem back, and I send in my Darkrai, even though that my Darkrai has let me down several times in battles before with Pokemon like Mewtwo, all because they have something like Aura Sphere or Focus Blast that always hits and either nearly kills Darkrai or does a lot of or does kill Darkrai. So sadly, Darkrai isn't fast enough, and he goes down for the count right away. And by this point, I was getting pretty worried, because I only have Zoroark, Black Kyurem, and Rapidash left, while he still has 5 of his 6 Pokemon. So I send in Zoroark, which looks like Hannah right now, and he sends in Floatzel thinking that's Hannah. But I use Night Daze, and luckily that takes down his Floatzel really quickly, which was good for me, because Floatzel would have been bad for Hannah. So he sends in Axe, and I really didn't feel like switching, so I kept Zoroark in, and I wasn't really expecting a Brick Break right away, and luckily Zoroark survived that, and then Zoroark uses Attract on it, so then Axe won't do that much, or hopefully wouldn't do that much to my Zoroark in the first place. So he can't move, so I go for Night Daze, which is Zoroark's strongest attack, in my opinion, of what she has. So Night Daze nearly takes down Axe, and due to that Attract, Andrew, or InnerDark, or whatever you want to call him, switches into his Umbreon Darkness, and I wasn't really expecting that. I was thinking he would probably just keep it in I don't know. But that doesn't do very much, because it's dark on dark move. Well, in this case. So, I don't get why he switches again into his Mewtwo. He does a lot of switching in this battle. But, anyways, I go for a Focus Blast thinking that he would have kept his Umbreon in. Like he probably should have, I guess. But, of course, he goes for an Aura Sphere, and that wipes out Zoroark. And no matter how much I love my Zoroark, she dies pretty quickly because she's frail. But oh well. She's been a staple in my team, and I don't know, she's just really useful. So, I go for my Kyurem because he is a powerhouse. He has a ton of HP, and also he has a really, really high attack stat. So, might as well. And right away, I use Outrage because 2 of his 4 Pokemon that are left are Dragon, and then also it has really high attack. So that takes out Mewtwo right away, like I was hoping for. So he switches into Axe, which I don't know why, when he should have gone for his Umbreon, because his Umbreon wouldn't have gotten it super effective, and not like, from what I see, it isn't as useful as Axe is. But Axe, again, faints, like the rest of his Pokemon have been lately. And it brings it to a tie so far, or what looks like a tie. But his Reshiram is still low on HP, and it's also paralyzed. Which I don't see what was good in sending Reshiram out. But he uses a Max Revive on his Mewtwo, which brings that back. And Reshiram is down. And then by that point, I remember, I still have one, so I revive Darkrai for who knows what, when I don't really need it, maybe. I wasn't sure if I was going to need it against his Mewtwo later on, I guess. This battle was a while ago, so I'm trying to remember. Then, of course, as I said, I revive Darkrai. And Mewtwo goes for Aura Sphere, which is pretty smart, knowing that he's Ice-type, and that nearly takes down Kyurem. And instead of going for Darkrai, because of the amount of times that he's died in the past, I switch for Hannah, which is her second appearance. And I've actually battled people with her, and she's done really well. So, might as well use her now and hopefully take down her Mewtwo. But he switches for his Umbreon for some reason, and I go for Flare Blitz, and I think that actually does a good amount of damage on Darkness, but of course the recoil is never good. So, I use Attract, so then he won't do anything, and I wasn't sure exactly what he had, because he didn't really use that much moves with Darkness. So, he switches into his Mewtwo. And by this point, I was like, no matter who it is, I'm just gonna attack, no matter what. So Fire Blast does a good amount of damage onto Mewtwo, but doesn't take it down yet. And then, for some reason, he switches back again, which I don't think that's a really good move to just keep on switching, because you're not going to be attacking at all. You're not going to do any damage, really. And then Darkness takes the next hit, and then it nearly goes down. I used Flare Blitz just because I didn't want to waste another Fire Blast, and the recoil wouldn't have been that much. And Darkness faints, and that leaves Mewtwo left. So he sends out his Mewtwo, and I go for one more hit, maybe? I think that's all. I go for Fire Blast again, I think? Yep. And it takes down Mewtwo, and that ends the battle here. That was really fun, and when I was battling him, like, I've gotten nervous at some points because right away I started losing, and I was like, I gotta get my head in the game and start thinking correctly. But thanks for watching, and be sure to give a like if you did, and subscribe, please. It helps me a lot, means a lot to me. And I'll continue with my weekly schedule. I'll hopefully see you guys with another battle video next Saturday. See ya.